Hello my dear students. So in today's class we are going to talk about the data types, basically the user defined data types. So while talking about the data types, I have told you that basically there are three types of data types. First is primary, second is derived, and third is user defined. And we have already covered the primary data type, that integer, float, character and void is kind of primary data type, and we have seen some explanation about them. Then after we have talked about the derived data type. So arrays and pointers are the derived data type which is derived from the primary data type. Now in this lecture I am going to talk about user defined data type. So basically typedef and enum is being used as user defined data type. But before going to the user defined data type, I want to explain some tables that I have not covered in the primary data type. So if we are using integer, we know that integer is basically used to store the whole numbers, right? And you can see that the qualifiers short, long, signed, unsigned can be used with integer in order to expand or compress the range. You can also expand the range, or you can also make the range shorter. And here is the table that this is how qualifiers can be used with integer in order to change the range. You can see the ratio or the range is over here, right? So you can also see the size in byte, right? So int or signed int, basically if you are writing int, it is by default signed integer, so it is occupying size 2. But this size may vary according to your system. It may happen that in your system integer may occupy 4 bytes. And the format specifier for int is %d, and this is how I have written format specifier for each of the combination. Now then after we have talked about float, if you want to give precision or the decimal point, you can use float, right? And it is precise up to 6 decimal places, and float double, and for long double I have given the range, size and the format specifier. So you can just note down this, because in exam while writing about the data types, if the question is longer or with having higher weightage, you have to draw this table, right? So this is all about float. Now for characters, as you can see, character is basically used to store the single character. Data type char is being used for that, and each character occupy 1 byte. Format specifier for character is %c, and this is how you can write or initialize the character. Here keyword char is used, and classification character can be signed or unsigned. The range of signed character is given like this, and range of unsigned character can be given like this. You can see the code for that, right? Now then after, what is void? So for void we have said that void means no value, which is basically used as a return type in a function. So you all know about function till now. So you can write void main also, or you can write int main. So void is nothing but we are not specifying any data type. So void means no value, and also used as pointer. So if you want to create void pointers, you don't know what kind of data is pointed by the pointer, you can write data type as void. That means I am not aware about the type of pointer. So example of void is void 8. So this is the function, and we have already covered this kind of function, because I am uploading this video after covering the function. So I hope that you now understand this concept. Now user defined data type. So basically there are two types of user defined data type. First is typedef, second is enum. I will show you one by one every user defined data type. First I would like to talk about typedef. Sometimes you want to create your own data type. At that time you can use typedef keyword in order to generate your own data. How? Syntax is typedef, then the data type and new name. So suppose I want to create a data type from my name. So here typedef short integer small int, right? So small int is a small int here, which is written as capital. In capital I have written small int. So small int is new data type right now, which is basically having primary data type short integer. Similar way, long int is big int. It is defined as big int. So now if you are writing small int xy, that means x and y are having data type small int, and if you are writing big int, that means a and b are having data type big int. So this is how you can define your own data type. Basically we are not going to use typedef in our programs. So this is just for the sake of practical, this is not just for the sake of practical implementation. You have to remember the theory, right? So then after I am going to talk about enum. What exactly the enum is? Consider you have group of elements. Suppose you can see the points over here coming out in my slide. So basically, suppose we are having weekdays, Monday, Tuesday and so on, right? And I want to give integer value to each day, starting with 0 to up to some integer value, right? So how can I give this? If I want to give some integer value to multiple items, I can use enum. So basically it consists of the name, constants called enumeration, syntax is enum, data type and name 1, name 2. So you can see I have created one enum that is data type, which is having name rainbow colors. So rainbow colors, inside the curly braces I have written all the rainbow colors. By default, if I am writing rainbow colors red, orange, yellow, green, blue and indigo and violet, then by default it will be starting with red with 0, then orange with 1 and so on. But if you are initializing red equal to 1, then now red will be started with 1, orange will be 2, now you are initializing yellow as 5, right? So here you can see the example. So now green will be 6, blue will be 7, indigo will be 8, violet will be 9. So this is how you can give sequential indexes to your file or to your variables by using enum data type. So the compiler will use an int value to hold this, and if no values are supplied, red will be initially 0. So if you are not initializing red, by default it will take 0 value and orange as 1. So this is all about the enum data type. You can see the example of rainbow over here, where rainbow colors is defined. First I have defined rainbow colors, traffic lights equal to red, and then you can see rainbow colors A, declaring rainbow. So here basically we have declared it over here. You can see here first I have declared rainbow colors by enum, and then I am using rainbow colors A. So A is the object of kind rainbow colors data type, and then I am doing A equal to green. That means it will assign the value, which is assign the integer value of green to my variable A. Right. So this is all about the theoretical concept of typedef and enum. In 3 or 4 marks they used to ask this question. So make sure that you understand this concept. You have to write the explanation as well as one example along with the answer. So this is all about today's class. I hope you enjoyed this class. See you in the next class with different concept. Thank you so much.